Hey guys, so if you've seen all the case studies we've posted in the last couple of months, you've probably noticed the one from Jeremy who closed more than 20k MRR in less than 65 days. To nurture leads and close deals, he used breakcold, and to generate leads, he used Lemlist. I think you guessed it now, I'm super pumped today to announce to you our new native integration with none other than Lemlist. In the next 60 seconds, you'll see a quick chat with Charles, the CEO of Lemlist, and then I showcase you how the integration works. What is Lemlist and what is your role at Lemlist?
Lemlist is a software that helps people find customers. So we do what's called outbound or prospection. We are in the category that's usually called like sales engagements. And we try to cover the full process for prospection from like creating email address, warming them up, and then after finding leads and engaging with your prospect and your leads, either fully automatic or manually as you prefer. And we are very well known for delivering a great email deliverability performance because we created a feature called Lemwarm, and we offer multi-channel, so meaning that you can outreach, you can engage with prospects from by emails, by LinkedIn, and now by call. And my role is CEO, so I took over after G's moving from like being a bit less operational in the day to day. He's still involved in the company, but he's more focused on his personal brands. And I manage the daily operation of the company. And the company is bootstrapped and profitable. We're doing 30 million in AR and 10 million in operating margin or EBITDA.
All right, guys, so this is how the native integration with Lemlist works. So what you're going to do first is to go inside Lemlist. Then you're going to go to your settings. So you're going to click on your profile and you're going to click on settings. The second step you're going to do is that you're going to click on on integrations right there. Sorry about that. Then you're going to click on generate when it comes to the API key. So I'm going to click on generate. I'm going to call it like tests. I'm going to copy the API key that I'm going to delete so you can't use it afterwards. But essentially then what you're going to do is that you go back to breakcold. Then you go to the section called App Store, or maybe it will be called integration by the time you're watching this video. And then you're going to search for Lemlist. So there's multiple way in how you can search for it. So here I'm going to click here. It won't be coming soon when you try it. And then you're going to click on install and you're going to put your API key right there. So then you're going to click on validate and save, and boom, congratulations, the Lemlist application integration is installed. So now let me show you how it works. So there's two ways in how you can make the Lemlist integration work inside breakcold Sales CRM. So the first way is to move leads automatically in your Lemlist campaign, depending on where they are in your sales pipeline stages. So for example, here I can say, okay, automatically push leads to Lemlist. So I'm going to click on activate. And from there, you can say, okay, when my leads arrive in my partnerships list and they arrive in my first mail slash message sales pipeline stage, then I want them to be pushed inside a Lemlist campaign. And from there, you can select your campaign. So here in this demo account on Lemlist, I created my campaign already, a multi-channel campaign to close deals with your ICP. It's not like the perfect example, but it's just to show you how it works. So then I'm gonna click on save configuration, right? So now when in this demo account, I go to the pipeline and I go to partnerships. So if I go back to Lemlist, and if we go to the campaign right now, you're gonna see that in the leads lists, we have no one. So let me just delete this, guys, for the sake of the example. So we have no one, right? And what we basically said with the video, if you can just go back a little bit, we say that, okay, when someone goes from this stage or to that stage, or when someone arrives directly in that stage, regardless of how you use the CRM, I want them to be pushed in a sequence in Lemlist, which can be multi-channel, email, LinkedIn. You can even do calling on Lemlist. And so right there, if I push Jan, so if I say, okay, Jan now is, I just sent him my first manual message, and then I want like an automated sequence to happen. So I can just push Jan. You see, now Jan is inside the Lemlist campaign. Same with Batiste. Now they are in the CRM right there. So that is the first way in how you can automate the CRM to push back leads inside Lemlist. And there's multiple use cases. Maybe it's not obvious, but in the integration page of this integration, I will let you know all different use cases that you can do. Because people sometimes they think they need to generate leads first using Lemlist, and then when they mark a lead as a positive reply, that they should push it to breakcold. But you can also do the other way around, where you can build nurturing sequences in Lemlist, and once the lead are warm enough in breakcold, or when you want to re-engage them because they are in your CRM and maybe you haven't touched them for a while, you can just move them to a specific stage and automatically they go in nurturing sequence using Lemlist. So there's many use cases actually with this. The second way to push the leads to Lemlist is essentially when you go to the people section. So if we take my example one more time, and let's say I just want to get the people with, let's do like a um, okay, so let's say I just want Alejandro like quarterly. Let's create some tags like live there. Okay, maybe yeah. Let's say you just want you so you're inside a list, like the partnerships list, and you just want to push the people who have this tag in your Lemlist campaign. So in this example, this is just Alejandro. And so what you're going to do is that you're going to click on the three dots here and you're going to click on push to Lemlist. Then you're going to select your campaign, and then you're going to be able to push your leads straight away in a campaign that is running on Lemlist, that is not running yet. And so from there you can just like add new leads again and again and again to the campaign. So if I click on submit, now I go back to a Lemlist. You see, instantly you got the leads in your campaign. So yeah, that's pretty much about it on how the integration works. One of the most recurring question about this type of integration with lead generation tools is, will you guys build the integration that allows us to push from Lemlist to breakcold? The answer is that normally it should be their job to do it, but for many reasons, if you check the integrations of Lemlist, they have very few with other softwares. So I think at some point what we're gonna do for sure is to build the other way around, which is much trickier because normally it should be on their side and not on our side. But what people do though, and which is very easy in the meantime for you to build, is through Zapier or through Make or whatever, you can just using the webhook feature of Lemlist say, okay, when a lead is marked as interested or when the LinkedIn invite is accepted, then it's going to be pushed inside like Zapier through the webhook feature of Zapier. And step two of the Zapier workflow or Make workflow is to create or update lead inside Brackle. This is very easy to do. So that's why most of the time, like lead gen tools, they haven't built specific integrations on their side, because usually it's very easy to do it with webhooks. And yeah, I will put a video to show you how to do it. Otherwise, just ping the support, and yeah, we can teach you how to do it within a couple of minutes. What is the latest big feature you guys release, and why is it a game changer essentially?
The biggest thing we released like in the last 3 months was what we call the VoIP, so the calling capabilities. So in the past, we integrated with VoIP solutions like Aircall or Ringover, so you could already dial from Lemlist. But we added the capability for our users to connect their own phone number. So if you already have a phone number, you can connect it in Lemlist, and or to buy a new phone number. So we now are able to provide phone numbers to users. And the main idea around that is to be able to combine email with LinkedIn with calls in one platform. And what we like to do is like, because we have like 20,000 customers and we have access to their data, in prospection, so we know who are successful, like who are less successful, it's easy for us to decide like who we want to meet and yeah, connect with them. And we're meeting customers like daily. And so in the last, I think like 6 to 9 months, we were meeting like lots of teams doing calls because we're preparing this feature to really understand like what makes a successful team in cold calling or calling. And we realized that many teams, many sales people, actually what they do is that they prepare uh, and they do blitz call session. Like they will have 2 hours in their agenda. They will have a list of prospects and will try to call, I don't know, like 50 people or 100 people, and they block 2 hours. And this is a good methodology when it's prepared well. But we think that the connect rates are quite low. Like it's quite difficult like to block these 2 hours. And when we looked further, we saw that actually one methodology that's used from some teams that's really strong. It's like they're using like multi-channel capabilities combined with scoring to define who to call and when, and find the best moment. So instead of like having like a pure cold calling approach, they would like start a campaign. They would say, okay, first I'm going to add prospects on LinkedIn, try to add them in connection. Then if they accept me in connection, I will send them a LinkedIn message. If they don't accept, I will send them an email. So it's kind of using conditions. And then after they will be like, okay, now let's say that they didn't answer after one LinkedIn message, one email. I will add a call step. And then after the call step, potentially I will leave a voicemail. And after the voicemail, I will send another email. And basically what happens is, then when the prospect reach this step in the sequence, like basically you have already sent like sent it a LinkedIn invite, sent an email, sent a LinkedIn DM. Then you will call them at the right time at this time, and combine that with scoring. You can actually call the right person, or at least like improve your chances to have someone who will answer and have something specific to say. Like for instance, I saw that you opened my attachments in my last email. So I wanted to chat about it. So give you a bit more information about what we do. So that's a good example. So instead of like calling out of the blue like 100 people, the idea is really to prepare with some warm steps to warm up the lead, and combine with scoring. We see that it offers like a much better return on investment on the time you spend to do prospection. So this is exactly the idea we have for Lemlist. So combine the calling with the multi-channel and the scoring part.
What is the biggest advice you would give to someone that is starting to use Lemlist so that they have amazing results on the campaign? So you've just mentioned the approach when it comes to calling, but maybe more broadly, what would be the biggest advice you would give to a first-time Lemlist customer?
That's a great question. I think there are two types of advice I give. So if you allow me, I can do two.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So I think the first part is it's like a more soft skills and hard skills thing. Like the first type of advice I give is a soft skill part. So I will give you an example. This morning I received the prospection email. I like to look my prospection email because obviously it's my job. So and it was said like, this is my last follow up. I'm sure you received it already. Like, this is my last email. You will never hear about me. And yeah, exactly. The breakup email, the famous breakup email. Like, we're not even in a relationship, but they are breaking up with me. That's too bad. But really it made me think of something. Actually, I wanted to write a LinkedIn post about it. It's like, I realized that this email is really self-centered as a seller. Like, I'm breaking up with you. Like, this is my last follow-up. I will not follow up anymore. And it really shows that this person who did this campaign, either they just took a template and really didn't think about it, or they just missed something, which is that they are not really thinking about their buyer. They are not really thinking about who they are contacting. And I think it's Lemlist's fault. It's not only Lemlist's fault. It's like sales engagement platform's fault, because now you have a CSV file. So everybody is not a human. It's like a line in a CSV, and you just add them. And if you have like one more line or two more lines, it's fine. So you will always add more prospects, and you do what's called spray and pray. So you try to shoot like very widely, but you're forgetting that you're speaking to a human. And so I think my first advice is always the same. It's pretty simple, but like I think 95% of people don't apply this simple advice. Is like, would you as a buyer like to receive like this email? Would you like to receive your own email? And it's a tips we often give is like, send the email to yourself. Like if you start to prospect, like send the email to yourself. Would you be willing to answer? Because I think like ultimately like prospection is all about humans and trying to connect with people. And for me, it's like, for instance, instead of saying like, this is my last email, I will not follow up, you should better say like, why it's a problem for you that I don't follow up anymore. Like, what's the problem you're not going to be able to solve if I don't come back to you and therefore like don't solve this problem for good. So this at least like centers a bit more around the prospect. So I think this is really the best one. And the other that's more like the hard skills part in campaign. I do believe in like mini campaigns. So there is a lot of buzz about like personalizing emails like one by one. So
Yeah.
meaning like with AI, you can do one email for one person, etc. We're seeing that this doesn't work at all because like AI is like crazy and like does like weird stuff. So one-to-one campaign, one-to-one message that's unique to everyone, it doesn't really work well. And campaigns to many people, they don't work either because they are not enough personalized. So what we see works well is like mini campaign. So the idea is to find a set of people that share a common attribute. So the very useful, the very typical things are like people who I don't know who are hiring. I don't know, like you are
Yeah.
a company that offers hiring services, so it's a very basic one. But you will take people who are hiring. So let's say people who are hiring developers, and you will contact them and say, hey, by the way, so you are hiring developers. This is how we help this other customer find their developers in like 2 months or 1 month. So it's you think about like why are people buying your service and why are they buying now? And you try to replicate. You create some verticals like the reason people are buying your service, and you try to replicate that and find how you can identify the intent and create a campaign around that intent for a common set of people. And that usually works better. It's actually what the top leading agencies are doing. And this is, yeah, I think the best way to organize outreach now.